But first, my take. Now, terrorists once again struck and visited pain and anguish on our land. The official number of the casualties is heartbreaking. 21 is too much, but even one would have been too many. It is another of those horrifying moments in our national psyche when the security is thoroughly challenged and citizens left traumatized. We sympathize with the families of those killed and those injured in the attack at the 14 Riverside complex in Riverside area right here in the capital. At the same time, we commend the efforts made to fight back and rescue the victims. Members of the public equally came out powerfully to support the rescue operation, demonstrating unity of purpose in the face of adversity. Now, despite what happened, we reinstate that this latest attack will not kill our spirit. The regions or the design of the evildoers will not triumph over common good. Neither will it create a wedge between Kenya, her friends, neighbors, and partners, which is what the perpetrators of the evil design seek to achieve with what they do. True, Kenya has suffered immensely under terror attacks, but that cannot extinguish the determination to fight the evil forces. But the attack is another stark reminder that security remains a critical challenge. We are not out of the woods yet, and much must be done to seal all the loopholes that allow criminals to get into the country and inflict pain and deaths on the citizens. For a while, the country has enjoyed relative calm and peace. The last horrendous attack was in 2016 in El Ade, where our soldiers were butchered. 2015, our Shabab terror group attacked the Garissa University and killed more than 100, majority being students. 2 years earlier, the same gang had attacked the Westgate Mall in Nairobi and left some 67 dead and tens others injured. And in November of 2002, there was yet another attack, that's in Kikambala. Now, since the 1998, when the terrorists attacked the country and all right, I'll just do that again. Since 2000, when the terrorists attacked the country, and we know it was about the U.S. Embassy, they killed more than 200 people and injured hundreds of others, simultaneously hitting the U.S. in Jerusalem and inflicting equal anguish. Now, Kenya has witnessed a series of invasions that tested our security capacity to the limits. Kenya is a casualty because the insecurity in the neighboring Somalia has been the theater of violent conflicts for nearly 3 decades following the overthrow of Mohammed Sidebar. Now, the lawlessness in that country, now divided into different territories, has rendered terrorists who have consistently organized cross-border attacks and retreated to their backyards when they vanish with ease after the attacks. It's for this reason that Kenya has been participating in the joint United Nations and Africa Union initiative to bring peace to Somalia since 2011. Kenya has been sending troops to Somalia under the auspice of the AMISOM, and which is locally tagged as Operation Linda Nchi, to fight and crush the militants in their territory and protect our borders. Now, Kenya continued participation in the operation remains a subject of debate. Tragically, last week's offensive came exactly 3 years after the El Ade episode, an indication that the criminals work with some bizarre milestones. Just when we thought that things were calm, the gang unleashed mayhem. Another coincidence is that just on Monday, a Nairobi court ruled that some 3 people accused of playing a role in the Westgate attack should be committed to trial. One suspect, however, was freed for lack of evidence. There's something perturbing in all this. At the heart of the matter is the question of surveillance. Now, Kenya must intensify its security surveillance locally as it fights the militants across the border. Time has come when we must completely exterminate the criminals and secure our territory. More assurance or mere assurance is not just enough. In the words of President Uhuru Kenyatta, Kenya showed the world the best part of us, that we are brave, we are patriotic, we're loving and unbowed. And the good book also reminds us, that's in Matthew 10:28. Do not be afraid of those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul. Rather, be afraid of the one who can destroy both the soul and the body in hell. My guests tonight: Ali Kombo, Tracy Wanjiru, Charles Mukinyo Kivunja, Catherine Gashatha. My name is Ken Mijungu. Sidebar is the hashtag we're using tonight. At Ken Mijungu at NTV Kenya. Share your thoughts with us. Sidebar begins right now.
Kushuka chini sasa, like dance tu. He was safely evacuated from one of the buildings in the 14 Riverside Drive complex after hours of sitting under the breath and jaws of terror.
The last 12 hours you were in a washroom. How many people were you in that washroom?
Those that had 7 people, there were those that had 5.
It's a point of making your prayers, repenting your sins.
I was with 8 guys who were at some form of a conference center. It was quite nerve-wracking, if I may say.
Wakati sikujua ni mgaidi, hadi wakati kulilipuka sikujua ni mgaidi. Ningejua ni mgaidi, sidhani kama ningepita hivi. Sasa huyu ndio.
All right, welcome to the show. And of course, let's begin our discussion with the survivors of this harrowing tale. And thank you very much, Tracy, for coming. And thank you, Charles, for coming. And of course, thank you very much, Ali, for coming. Before we speak to Madam Catherine here, I'd like to just tell Kenyans your stories. We've had these remarkable stories, but it's one more time that we just want to hear. I'll begin with you. And I remember you so well, Tracy, because when I got to Dusit to just the junction at some minutes past 4 p.m., I found you there, and if you remember, you were hysterical, you were crying. At one point, I even attempted to speak to you, but you were speaking to your friend, and I saw it in your face. But one thing that you told me before you left is about a gentleman who was trying to tell you, let's wait, but you said, you know, let's just go, and you left. So tell us your story, Tracy.
Okay, thank you, Ken. That guy was telling me to go outside, like we go outside.
Oh, he was telling you to leave?
To leave, yeah,
Okay.
we go outside to the main exit. And then I was like, no, I don't think it's safe because I can just hear the gunshots. So I don't know whether it's safe for us to go. As much as at the salon we don't have an exit, let's just go inside the salon and hide. So he left, then me, I went inside and hide.
So you decided to go back inside the salon to hide?
Yes.
We have video footage of you running out. How did you eventually get out?
The police came and rescued us.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's the police that came and gave you the cover.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I'll speak to Charles. You also have a remarkable story, and we'll be referring to your stories a lot. You told us earlier that you hid inside an AC compartment. You work for LG Electronics.
Yeah.
So how did you get up there, and what drove you to go up?
For me, my side is this, that I came under my own understanding is this, that when you were working, we were repairing the air conditioners from different fields. So is that the time that I was like, I knew what is up in the ceiling, yeah. So I knew what is I can expect to understand from that point. And then the greatest motivation was that the Westgate attack. The Westgate attack had some issues that you found that the REC squad was the one that was the first one that was helping the people to survive. So they first entered the Westgate through the top floor.
Okay.
Yeah, so the top floor is the one that I like when we dropped down to the first floor, and then we saw the Al-Shabaab. The next thing that came into my mind is that now let me go to the topmost building. In case the REC squad is going to come with
find you there.
With the flights, they are going to find me there.
You said when you came to the first floor and you saw the perpetrators, the Al-Shabaab.
Yeah.
Did you see them face to face?
Yeah.
How many were they when you the number you saw?
Two of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were they looking at you? Where were they looking when you saw them, or they were outside?
They were outside, and then that's like when you arrived in the first floor, that's the first minute they started attacking the people.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you got to the first floor,
Yeah.
they had just begun attacking.
No, they just began the attacking in our first building because our building is at the entrance.
Your building is at the entrance.
Yeah.
So I still want to go back to this. So
Yeah.
how did you know where to get in through in the building, the topmost building?
For me, we have worked with the air conditioners. You know how they operate. So from my idea, I knew like how the ceiling, I can open it, how I can enter through. So that's why I gave my friends, the guys that we ran up to the 6th floor. I told them like try to just lift the lid up and then move close to the wall. Close to the wall is where you're going to be able to climb to the ceiling, and then make sure you're not making any trace so
Okay.
that those guys cannot understand if there's anyone inside the building.
So how long was the floor? How long was the floor that you got in?
Let's say it was like it's a common, like normal feet, like around 2 meters. Let's say 2 meters.
2 meters.
Yeah.
So you used a ladder, you used a seat to climb?
No, we just we like the guys. We just motivated ourselves to push on and then climb.
How many were you in the ceiling?
We were 3 of us.
3 of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of them survived.
Yeah, all of us survived.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back to Tracy again. Tracy, it's been said, and you have spoken about this, that you are also working at Westgate during the attack.
Yes.
All right. Tell us about Westgate. How did you get out of Westgate?
For Westgate, I was working at Westgate, but when the attack happened, for that I was not basically like the whole entire time inside. I was like going outside. I was going to a main branch in CBD.
Okay.
So as I was leaving the exit point, that's the time I had an explosion. In the midst of the confusion, I was like, do I go inside? Just exactly as this one. Do I go outside? But as for this one, I was near the exit, so it was much easier for me to get outside, unlike this one. So
Okay.
I just ran outside, went and hid in a kibanda.
Just next to Westgate?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So that experience, you have said, also helped you make a decision
Yes,
on
yes.
for the Riverside.
Yes. Yeah, because now for the second time when I had the explosion and when I tried to go outside to see what was happening, what caught my eyes first was the leg of a person flying, going all the way down. So now it hit me, now this is a bomb. It's not. At first I thought it's a gas explosion from the restaurant Secret Garden. That was what came into my mind
The first thing, you thought this
Yes.
is gas, normal
Yes.
restaurant.
Yeah, because
mission.
it's a restaurant, I thought these are the gas that are blowing up. Now when I went outside, when I saw that leg flying and lying down, now I knew, now this is like Westgate, this is a bomb and this is an attack. Yes.
So that was immediately it happened. The guy blew himself up.
He blew himself right in front of our salon, like upper inch, like, yes.
That's the picture we see. That's right in
Yes.
front of your salon.
Yes.
All right. I'd like now to bring Ali. And you are among the first respondents, because respondents are the same, security, not emergency. We saw you go in. There has been an explosion. It's still not clear. The country is still not clear of what's happening, whether it's a terror attack, whether it's robbery. And shoot, you're in. What is going through your mind when you just went in?
You know, in any scenario that happens when it comes to we men in uniform, when you say men in uniform, I mean all of us in uniform.
Across the board?
Yes, across the board. It's actually, if anything like that happens, the first thing that comes into your mind is, am I going to perform my duty to the best that I can?
That's the only thing you think about?
Yes, nothing more, nothing less. It's not about you, it's not about your life. All those men that you see us in uniform, it's not about sisi mimi mwenyewe kama binadamu. No, it's about the country that I serve. We stand for this country. And if there's anything that's going to happen, the first thing that comes into my mind is, how am I going to be of service to my country?
Okay.
This is what we do.
Okay.
So it's not about kumelipuliwa, nitaenda kuuliwa, nitaenda kufanya nini. You leave that behind. When you put this uniform, you leave all that behind. It's no longer about you. It's about the country that you're serving.
Okay.
Yes.
So you get to the scene and you are going in, your heart has already accepted, I'm serving my nation.
Yes. Normally what
Regardless,
happens, normally what happens, you reach there, the first thing that you have to do, I have my superiors, okay? So I reach there, the first thing that I'm being told is, I'm giving orders, the particular kind of orders. You know, the thing that you guys have done, it's like you have done this thing like it's Kombo. It's like I'm the one who's rescued the 700 people. No, actually. If it's to rescue, I guess I rescue around 50 or around 30. But behind, we were strategically positioned in different areas. It just happened that the place that I was stationed by my commanders to do is the place that there were people that I had to evacuate.
Okay.
And if I evacuated around 50 people, what about of the 700 people? So it's a collective thing. It's not about Kombo. It's about the guys and how we responded. We as the GSU, because we were given that by our commander, Mr. Kanja. Okay. He was the one who was in charge.
And he was at the scene.
Yes, he was at the scene.
He was at the scene.
We normally lead or we normally command from the front.
Okay.
If I go to take orders from you, I need to see you there.
So Kanja is not staying at home and giving orders
we don't
from the
do that.
office.
We don't do that.
He was there, and the DCI was there, and even Nudin Haji was there. There were quite less number of people. But still, There is a video of you leading a squad in open air. Your gun is raised. That video right there. Your gun is raised. You tell them, wait. What prompted you to tell them wait?
Hoja nimejitolea kusaidia hawa watu. Okay? And I cannot, before niwatoe niwapeleke mahali kama hapo, nimepatiwa orders that you need to take these people out. Okay? Those are the strictly orders ya kwamba you need to take
express order you're told
yes,
when
you
you
need to take
told
these people
get
out.
in. Yes.
And before I get to take these people out, I first have to calm them down. Okay? These people are in a shock. Hawa watu wameshtuka. Hawajui mahali wataanzia. People are, okay, it happen, with us we are trained how we're going to handle such kind of cases. But huyu ni mtu mwenye ameshtuka. The first thing that you do mtu akishtuka, you calm him down. Okay? If some of the guys tell you, tell deep in, breathe out. Just relax. I'm here for you. I'm doing this for you. I won't let anything happen to you. You need first to get their trust and then ndo waweze kukufuata.
Okay.
Yes.
I like to know, you went in, the first room you went. How many people were in?
That's too much tactical. I can't say more about that. Lakini kitu naweza kuambia ni kwamba there were several kind of people that tried to
The
help.
reason why I'm asking that
Yes.
is because you shouldered a huge responsibility right at the moment you got there. That's the reason why I'm asking that question. You didn't fear I'm taking too many people outside? Will I be able to offer protection to them? I know your other colleagues were around and about, but that did not bother you? Like, let me take one out first, the second, third, because there's a huge line behind you.
If you can see,
Yes.
they were in line. Eh?
Yes.
Okay? I had them in line. I had them in line because I knew if they are in line, I can protect them much safer than when they are spread. Okay? So that's why niliondoka na wao nikisema kwamba singeweza kuchukua, I didn't have that time kwamba unachukua mtu mmoja mmoja kumpeleka nje. And those were my orders was given that peleka hawa watu nje. I took them out when walikuwa wako.
Okay.
Yes.
Because of your courage, a lot of people have been saved. You are very modest saying there are 50. We have quite a footage of a number of people who are behind you. But let me bring Catherine now, and good to see you. It's a long time since we interacted. And I just remembered the first time I interacted with you, we were talking about post-Westgate in your office, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that was the first time we interacted. And right through my mind, just from the initial stories that we have heard here, this lady and this gentleman, as a psychologist, would you look into their mind and just look at him and say this was survival mode, and rescue mode?
Yeah. When people are caught up in a situation like the one that they were caught in, one of the things that you want to do is to be safe.
Okay.
Just like they have been explaining that, do I go out, do I get in, how do I go up so that I can make sure that I am safe. So naturally what happens to a human being is that you'd want to protect yourself and you'd want to be safe. And just like Ari has said, his work is to make sure that people are safe and people are okay. Just like a psychologist, when we go to where the people are, what we would want to know is that they are okay and that they are not in a situation where we can lose them because maybe they are not able to handle themselves in ways that are going to help them, maybe to be able to function better, and therefore telling them to breathe in and to breathe out, you are helping them to be able to get there inside themselves, and the panic is going to go away because now they are doing something about themselves in terms of, I am okay now, I am now feeling I can be in control of myself. So yes, people will be in different modes. The helpers or the first responders are going to be in the mode of, I want to rescue you. And the people, the victims that are caught up in an experience are in a situation where they want to protect themselves.
Okay. Panic is part of this. Yes, panic is part of this. The human psyche is, even if there was a blast just across right now and we were able to hear it, there will be panic definitely in this house.
Certainly.
So it's part of it. And tragically, they are trying to figure out what to do. And we still have gunshots and we have explosions. How does the human body adapt to this such that when he tells you to calm down, you really calm down and follow his instruction?
You're hearing. Like when he started talking to them, they were hearing. And because at that particular time they were panicky, they were distressed, and you're looking for someone who can be there for you, when somebody talks to you, you move in that particular direction because you're running away from the violence, you're running away from what is distressing you to the direction of where you're feeling it is safe. And therefore, when someone is saying you're going to be okay, come over, I am going to read you out, you find yourself moving in that direction because now you know I am safe, I can go, I am seeing the person who is calling me is not a dangerous person.
Okay. And still on the question of how you adapt to it, the trust. One, he was lucky he saw them. Two, probably she did not see them. She just heard and saw the explosion, and they're dressed in a military manner, right? How do you get to trust this voice? If you don't see them, because one of my colleague here told us when he heard the report, they were hiding, but they could see the reflection from outside. So when he heard the voice, you're not even sure who's calling. So you don't want to respond to that call. When he tried to climb and see who was calling, he was pulled down because they could not trust the voice. I have a lady who told me at the scene that there was a Mzungu accent that was calling, so they could not trust it.
Yeah.
Then we have someone who tweeted and said the Red Cross personnel were calling out also. Then when he heard the voice of Abbas Goulet, she trusted it, and that is how she came out from her hiding. So how do you trust what they're telling you?
Human beings will try to connect with people in many ways or disconnect with people in many ways. Whether you're looking at a person and knowing I can trust, or you're hearing the voice and the tone and the pitch of a person and you know that I can reach out to this person or I can trust this person. By looking at the person or hearing the person, they know that I can trust this one, but I can't trust this other one. Maybe because they can see and they see the aggression and they know they have to run away. Or they see the calmness and the quietness of the person and the way the person is beckoning them, and they know I can go to this person is not going to be dangerous. So the senses of the person tell them I can trust or I cannot trust the particular person or the particular direction that
call
you're
is coming from.
me. Yeah.
I see you shaking your head, Charles. Did you have calls from security?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
I had a call from a security guy called Chirchir.
How did you know it's Chirchir? You're hiding on the road.
He told me through the phone.
Oh, the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, he called through the phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guy was told by my aunt Virginia. She organized. She gave her the number. Then the guy Churchill called me through the phone. Then he told me, Charles, where are you? And then I told him, like, I'm in the 6th floor of the building and I'm hiding somewhere. And then Churchill told me, like, how are you hearing any form of voices that you're hearing from that place? Which sound are they coming from? Do you hear any smell? And then I told him everything, and then he was like, okay, just hold on. There is a multi-agency team that is around that's going to rescue you. Okay,
so you told them the point. You trusted that voice.
Yeah.
You said your senses told you, someone tells you, let's run out, you say, let's run back in, right, and hide. How did you eventually get out?
Through the police, but it was hard, like you're saying.
Okay.
There was that Muzungu guy, and then now there were the other black police. Now he had the accent, actually. He was saying, we are the police, please come out. And I can see clearly from there was a reflection of the mirror. I can see him and he's white. So to me, in my head, and the rest of us were thinking, now these are the terrorists.
He's
no,
not,
we can't go.
He's not the police.
First thing when they said that, we said, no, this is a prank. Guys, they are pranking us. They're saying they're the police. No, let's not go.
Did you have that conversation among you?
Yes, we're just there. We're whispering, no, it's a prank. It's a prank. I think it's a prank. Let's not go outside. Yeah.
Okay.
So it took us, like, we negotiated with the police like 15 minutes. Yes, we were not trusting them. We were not sure whether they are the police because we are hiding. We can't be able to see them well. So we had that fight.
Okay.
But
within yourselves.
Yes, because we are like, maybe now these are the attackers, they are coming for us. But what made us now to trust them is when they were very calm, they were not moving, they were not blowing up, because the first time when we hid, when they passed, there were some gunshots, and then they were saying, people here are shooting. So now we said, I think, no, our ni polisi, because wale wa kwanza, when they were passing, they were shooting. How comes they're not shooting? We think they're the real police. Yeah.
And that's how you did it. I remember Westgate, for example, there are people who said the terrorists were calling, hey, come out, if you come out, we will spare you. And some people obeyed that, and they were killed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So was that one of the fears that you had, that perhaps this is not the security?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the fear we had. That's why we were saying it's a prank. They're the ones who are telling us to come out so that they can kill us.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Hearing this, Ali, hearing this from the concerned, and you were out there, you poured all you had to save them, you put your life on the line. At any one point, did you ever think that this can now turn against me? Will I lose my life here today?
Again,
That's the
brother,
question.
kama
I mean,
vile-
you're human. You're
Yes.
human.
Yes.
You're human at the end of the day.
Yes, lakini kitu nimejaribu kuambia ni kwamba ukiwa in that scenario, when you are in these uniforms, all the guys that you see on these uniforms, how sure are you yule askari anatembea, the person that utasimamisha gari yake has a gun, is going to shoot you? How sure are you ya kwamba the next door that you're going to knock, somebody has a gun, is going to shoot you? So when you see anybody in uniform, that guy amejitolea. It's no longer about him. You know, naregelea tena.
Okay.
It's no longer about you. It's about the job that you're going to do there. Swali ni ile kwamba katika this mandate that nimenipatia, okay, nitaweza kusaidia watu wangapi by the end of the day? Nitaweza kufanya ile kitu. Nitaenda nyumbani nijue kwamba I did my best today. Okay? Will I go back to the barrack and say I did my best today? It's all about that. It's not about you completely. Nikitoa uniform, then I'm a different person.
Okay.
Okay?
You even
Now
get
I can
worried
talk about
and
my
feel
family.
emotional.
I can talk about my family. Actually, when the video started circulating, my family was trying to call me because they were worried about me. You know what we do? What we normally do in that scenario? We men in uniform. You switch on the phone. It's no longer
Throughout the
about you.
operation, you
Yes.
switch off your phone.
Yes, because I cannot get distracted.
Okay. Okay, great. Ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a short break. When we come back, I still have questions for you about your survival instincts, and I want her to weigh in on that. But as we are taking the break, we have mentioned a lot about the GSU commandant. And we are not the only ones who have been mentioning about him, because yesterday during the security meeting, he was also among the people that were recognized by the Interior Cabinet Secretary. Let's take a look at this.
As for what happened last week, we've spoken about it, and I want to again be on record by, first of all, condemning what happened. We lost lives in that very cowardly and heinous attack at Dusi 2. It is a very unfortunate incident that for a civilized, modern, and developing country such as ours, we should experience such things as we did. But again, I hasten to, first of all, thank our colleagues in the security sector for the great work that was done there. You agree with me that because, as I said last week at the GSU headquarters, when duty called, we answered, and we answered effectively. We are so proud of our police officers. Mr. Kanja, GSU Commandant, I want you to know we are so proud of you, and we are proud of the work that you did. You gave a good account of our police service, and a good account of our security sector, and a good account of our nation. That is who we are as Kenya, and that's who we are as the security sector. We are alert, and we remain alert 24/7.
Right. He did well, and you have also lauded your boss for the work he did. And just before we take the break, our newspaper headline tomorrow is going to be talking about the CS you've just seen. That's the Daily Nation, tomorrow's newspaper. Uhuru's new super minister with the new responsibilities that have been given to CS Matiang'i. He now chairs a lot of committees that have specifically been added to his docket. He's the Interior and Government Coordination, but there's a lot that have been added to him. If you want to find out what else Matiang'i will be doing, please buy your Daily Nation tomorrow. Time now for a short break, but let's take a look at two feedbacks from Twitter, and then we'll take a break and come back for this discussion. Right, that's Elijah Okwema. Salute the GSU officer. I give him my heart appreciation and hope our government can appreciate them too. Thanks to him and his colleagues. And of course, you have been explicit early that this is not about you, it's also about your colleagues. Fine Touch Psycho says, kudos to the GSU officer, Kombo, serving his nation. This is a true patriot. Is that all we have? All right, we have a lot more on my laptop. I'll try and get them when we come back. But first, let's take a break. Sidebar will be back. Well, the hashtag for tonight, as always, is Sidebar. And welcome back to the show. I'm sitting here with very remarkable persons. Have Ali Hamisi Kombo, who is a police constable attached to the GSU Ruaraka. I have Tracy Wanjiru, survivor of both Dusit D2 and, of course, Westgate. And I have Charles Mukinyo Kivunja. He is the guy who hid at the SC compartment and survived. And I have Catherine Gasheda, who is a psychologist, if I must say. They're just going through what happened at Westgate. But let me come back to them, and before that, keep them coming, because I like this tweet from Nelson Bungei. Nelson says, I like the way Kombo is refusing to be glorified by Ken Mijungo. Amri ni kubwa kuliko cheo. Clearly, I agree with you. I agree. Amri kubwa kuliko cheo. Let me come back to you, Tracy, once more on your story before I speak to Charles, because just like LG was affected, a lot of those establishments that were inside the complex were affected. Did you lose any colleagues in this attack?
No, I
Fortunately,
didn't.
you're the manager of the salon, right?
Yes, yes.
You're the manager, and you did. While you were hiding before you left, did you ever think that you'll not make it out alive?
A lot of times, I did.
A lot of times?
Yes, I knew I'm going to die now. Yes.
How did you get through that feeling?
It's terrible, Ken. Like, it was only almost like 1 hour, but it felt like a whole week. It was bad. It was bad. It reached a point we started now repenting and praying our last prayer and telling God, please forgive me if there's anything I've done. I'm coming to you. Take care of my son, take care of my family. It was not easy, but here we
Survived
are.
it.
Yes.
And that explains the state I found you in.
Yes.
Were those your colleagues who you were talking to, or just friends?
Yes, they were my colleagues.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Charles, let me turn to you. While you were hiding, even before you got to the 6th floor, at any one point, did it cross your mind that you're not going to make it out alive?
Before the bang or after the bang, or
just at any time during the siege that you're inside there?
Inside the 6th floor?
Yes.
Yeah, there was a time. And this came like after I came to realize, like the guy that we are hiding with, they have already, like, they are telling their people, like, I don't see it if we are going to make it outside here. And then they were trying to tell also their relatives, close friends, like, no, this one, the bangs are coming, the gunshots are too many, so I don't see if I am going to make it today. So after that is when, like, I felt my heart also, why am I this hard? And then I felt like, now, if these guys are saying that they are not going to make it, also mine, who am I not to make it here? And then they were just gunshots, and then, like, everyone was like, and then they were too close to us. So this came like, now, it's now over. And I also texted some people now, this is sad. Let's just tell the people what happened. Yeah.
Do you have a family?
Yeah, I have a family.
Your own family?
No, not my own family.
Oh, not your own family?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, one of your colleagues, Cobra, the footballer, lost his life.
Yeah.
At what point did you separate? Because you were all in the office?
No. Odu, what happened, his nickname is Odu Cobra or Radido. What happened to him is this, like, he was saving the people.
What do you mean he was saving the people?
He was saving us, like, he was just telling us, you guys, move with this direction. He was the one, like, was guiding us. First, move towards the stairs. And then after you move towards the stairs, you found, like, you dropped and then he's the last person who is coming. And then after he came to realize that also there were Al-Shabaabs, now he's the one who told us, go and hide. And also I can remember what he told some of his colleagues, like and asked them, like, can I carry you so that you can be safe today? So he had that mentality in his mind, like, let me save my people first.
Okay.
And also when he was working, he had the same spirit, working with colleagues to just make them like feel, that work is a bit
stressful?
Not stressful. Like you have to have some fun in that work so that you can perform more.
Okay.
So he had that kind of emotions that he could just transform.
Psych up the whole office.
Motivate
and what you're saying is true. We saw a video of Radido after he died, when he was home during the holidays. He put the whole community down and he was leading with a song. So you're saying that was his character?
He had that character.
Okay.
Every day in the job duties, he had that character.
May his soul rest in peace. And you lost someone. And if you see, I knew Radido, for example. If you see the outpouring emotions and tributes that goes to the guy, you realize the world is very small. Because even the people you didn't know, you didn't know that knows the next person, you find that they're right there and they know him and they share pictures that they have been together. You lived through it and you lost some people. How are you coping?
As for me, like the first 3 days were just terrific to me because I was not able to make myself feel like it has already passed. After I didn't want to feel myself like this is going to happen again. And then this was what I was trying to misguide my mind, like now what is this so that has happened in my life at this moment of my life, you see. So for me, I was trying to make myself feel like, let me now start a new life. And then when I remember what I saw with those guys, I was like, it was trying to misguide my mind. And then it was hard, but now I'm seeing myself, I'm now transformed. I've got so many calls from different people that they have given me so much for comfort in my heart, and it has really managed my heart, and then I'm feeling now better.
Okay. Ali, your call, remarkably, again, went beyond your call of duty. Just let me secure them, offer them the cover, and let me try and get them out. We saw GSU officers carrying people who are injured on their backs and running with them to safety. We saw them picking people down and putting them on stretchers. The heart of humanity is not known. If you look at GSU, I grew up knowing GSU is Fanya Fujo Uone. The heart of humanity. The heart of humanity. How do you still have it when you're such a hardened soldier?
Unajua kuna msemo tunasema down there,
Yes.
ya kwamba kuna tofauti. Unaweza kuwa binadamu na hauna ubinadamu ndani yako. Unaweza kuwa mtu na hauna utu ndani yako. Ushasikia? These people that you see, those GSU, as you say, those my comrades that you see, those my colleagues that I'm there with them, tunaishi na wao, and these people have families. These people wanna interact. They are normal apart from this beret, apart from this uniform. Bado ni watu. That's the fear that you people have. But you know, ile kitu mzuri nafurahia na kwamba despite everything yenye imefanyika, at least it has changed the notion ile watu walikuwa nayo ya kuhusu askari. Na umejua ya kwamba askari yuko hapa kwa sababu yetu. Na kwamba askari hayuko hapa kukupiga, askari hayuko hapa kukufanyia nini, but we are here to serve you people. Kitu mimi husema ni kwamba at the machine kiwaambia watu, even on my Facebook pages and everywhere, ni kwamba this was not about us, and if it was a victory, it was not a victory for sisi kama askari, okay? It was a victory to us as a nation.
Okay.
For how venye we have changed the mentality venye tunachukulia askari, tumeshikana pamoja, tumechukuliana kama ndugu tena.
And it's true to GSU. We have seen performances, gospel songs, Rafton sang with the GSU, right? It was the first time we got out of that mindset, hey, these guys are brutal. And it's not also you, unfortunately, it's unfortunate because no one wishes this to happen again in the country. You turned out to be the face of security that conducted this operation. But this goes beyond 2007. You remember during the post-election violence, there's this GSU also who came out and said, Kenya ni nchi yetu, mnataka, you know? When you hear such stories, do you believe like his story, that the 3 days is sufficient for someone to recover and get out of this?
Different people, they recover differently.
Okay.
And like Charles has said, the first time is trying to come into terms with what has happened. You are shocked, you are distressed, and one gets affected in very many areas of their own life, whether it's about what they are thinking. And Charles is saying, in his thinking, he was not very clear about what was in his own mind, because you're still confused at that particular time. And some people will get even affected spiritually. Is there a God who can save me? And some people are able to perceive God who can save them at that particular time. But others are feeling, God, where are you? And for some of them, they can have issues with God for a long time, especially like family members who lose their loved ones, because they feel, we have been praying. What made you do that to us, God? And at the emotional level, there are a lot of raging feelings within oneself, whether it is anger, whether it is fear, whether it is guilt, regarding the events as they unfolded and what had happened before and what continued to happen and even after that. So when we psychologists are listening to people who have been caught up in violent situations or terror situations like the one that we are talking about, we would want to hear what is happening at the emotional level, what is happening at the mind level, what are the mental processes that they are having, what is happening at the spiritual level, what is happening at the relational level. Because for some people, they will pull away, they will withdraw, they will isolate, they would want to be alone. At that particular time, some of them are not eating. That's more physical in nature.
Okay.
Others report they are not even sleeping because they are still re-experiencing what happened in that particular episode or in that particular event. And so listening to them talking about this and helping them to tell this particular story helps them to start coming into terms with themselves and start experiencing their normality. Because an experience like this one is an abnormal experience. It's not one of those normal experiences that we go through. And what happens is that it destabilizes the individual. And what we would want to witness is that the individual is going back to their own normality, to their own health, whether it is at the mind level or at the feeling level or at the social level, where they are living with other people. Some people will do that naturally, other people will require assistance because we all get destabilized at different levels.
Okay. Charles, wakati umefika sasa, umetoka, you are out of the building, so you're walking out. Nini ilikuwa kwa mind yako?
For me, nilibebwa kutoka 6th floor hadi ground floor.
Ulitoka saa ngapi?
Ilikuwa hapo kwanza, sikumbuki vizuri, lakini najua tu saa 4 iko imemaliza.
Saa 4?
Usiku.
Okay.
So hapo kitu saa tu nilipata tu wakati tu nilibebwa.
Wakati afisa wa polisi
first kuna hizo multi agency team wenye walikuwa huko, ndo kuna wenye walikuja, wenye walitumwa tu hakuja, alafu waliambiwa na polisi penye tuko exactly. So walikuja tu like wakatustoma, wakatuambia hivyo, wakatuita majina, Charles, kujeni, tokeni. Alikuwa anaongea na Kizungu, so and then saa hapo ndo wakatubeba and then tukaenda tukaekwa kwa ambulance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So wakati unatoka nje, mind yako you now relieved?
Hapana. Siku ilikuwa terrific. Siku nataka kuona giza yote. Yaani nilikuwa naona giza, naona tu giza, naona ni kama wase wamejificha hapo. Hiyo ndio kitu tu nilikuwa, yani ukisikia tu any tu kabanka dogo tu kana kuaffect tu mind, unaona pana. Labda ni yani una feel tu weird tu, kila kitu inakaa weird hiyo wakati.
Okay.
But unajifeel uko normal, lakini ukiangalia wase wengine wanaanza ku like say uko normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you trust them? Ama ilibidi tu?
Who? The police?
The police.
You see, first time, first walikuwa wanapita hapo. So ulikuwa
na ungeza kuwaona kwa sababu unaangalia chini.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so ulikuwa lakini sasa kuna zenye ulikuwa unapata sasa unajua unaogopa tu kufanya vitu zingine. So wakati tumesikia bombs zimeendelea sasa ndo kila mtu anatulia kabisa. So venye tumetulia ndo ile emotions tu zinakukari and then unasikia tu like hai hapa ni kugumu. So unapata ni hard kujielewa ukiwa hiyo place. Ni ile tu unasema tu ile tu wacha tu ujisave, una try kujicontrol spirits zako tu kiuko hivyo juu. Yeah.
Okay. At that point, at what point did you feel safe? Ni ulifika nje ukaona media na polisi wengine?
Hapana. Like wakati nilienda hadi home.
Wakati ulifika nyumbani, umeona uko kwako.
Okay. Nikaona mtu najua. Jua mimi by ile kitu nilikuwa na avoid kabisa ni kuona watu sijui. Hiyo ndio kitu ilikuwa inani affect kabisa. Nikiona mse sijui hadi nakumbuka nikiambiwa you're going to sleep in the hospital. Nikamwambia hapana, siwezi lala leo. Nikisikia tu ambulance inaingia naanza kukumbuka yani zile scenarios. So hiyo ndio kitu ilikuwa inani affect sana. Niko like hapana sita manage kukaa place yote kuna hospitali. So ndo nikasema tu tafadhali tu niletee mtu mwenye namuelewa. Ndio sasa waka organize nikaletewa mse najua.
Lakini haukuumia in any way?
Hizo effects hiyo siku huko unazifeel lakini afterwards ndio unaanza kusikia kulikuwa na shida fulani kwa mwili.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Some question, Tracy. At what point did you feel safe? When you left us standing there? When you got home?
Yes, when I reached home. You remember I refused talking to you?
Yes, you came, stood there 2 minutes. I was looking at you. I looked at her for more than 10 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, and she was staring at me and she was crying. Then she came and stood next to me. I asked you one question. The next moment,
I ran away from him because I was not feeling secure. Because I was like, what if another explosion happened?
Because here.
Yes.
Okay.
So, because I was thinking now, because we are gathering here, now they can also maybe send people to come and throw another whatever grenade there. So when I was home, that's the time I felt that I'm safe now.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's exactly what I want to ask Ali. Ali, you are a security personnel. You're well trained, but occasionally you find like where we were that day.
Yes.
There's a lot of people outside.
Yes.
Yes. How safe are those people?
Once again, kitu nilikuwa najaribu kuambia ni kwamba we are under very able hands. Our commandant.
Okay.
Okay? Mr. Kanja. That guy is one of a kind, I tell you. What happened ni kwamba he made sure kitu ya kwanza ni kwamba all watu wengine wote, those who are not at risk, are very far from that place.
Yes, we left. We were like 300 meters away.
Yes,
300 meters away. Yes.
Sababu alikuwa anawachukia? No, he was keeping you safe.
Okay.
Ni yule na mtu yote mwenye alikuwa akitoka alikuwa anapelekwa as
far off the place as they can.
Yes. Kwa sababu gani? To make sure that unajaribu minimize the casualty as much as you can. Okay. Let us deal with that. We have a song that we sing normally. Ya kwamba if I die in a battlefield, put me in a bag, take me home, tell my mom I did my best. Okay, that's what we do. That's what we train to do. That's what we signed to do. Just clear. So nyinyi kwa safe ni kwamba kitu cha kwanza ni kwamba nyinyi ndio mnachungwa. Just na unajaribu kupunguza the number of casualty as much as possible. That's it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, lakini what would you want to tell Kenyans as a security personnel? The notion that there's something that's happening here. You find everyone coming together to see what's happening.
Hiyo ndo makosa watu tunafanya mara mingi. Ushasikia ya kwamba let those who are specialized in that go and do that. Kama hukupatikana kwa explosion maanisha kwa uko safe. Stay safe. Mbona ujiharakishe uende mahali kuna hatari? Do you want to see? Do you want to be a witness? Alafu ndio fanyike nini? Okay? Jiweke salama. Kitu ya kwanza imefanyika. I love this guy what has said there. This my young brother hapa ya kwamba kitu ya kwanza ilifanyika, what went through his mind ni kwamba I need to keep myself safe. Nitajiweka aje safe? Nitapanda juu sababu wreck last time waliingia na juu. That's being security cautious. Just here. Hiyo ni kujua zile first incidents you're supposed to do in case of an attack like that. Husteli kupanic, you're kujua how I'm going to get out of this. Unajua shida mara mingi, most of this casualty that we get ni kwa sababu wengi unapata wameshtuka, not even the attack itself, but ile mshtuo na ile kuingiana, the stampede or whatever, those kind of things. Hiyo ndio inafanya watu tunakuwa na a lot of casualties. So if this it can be more enlightened ya kwamba people need stay away from such a scene.
Toka kabisa.
That's it. Actually, when you are trained to do that, let them go and do that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Catherine, talk to us about the mass psychology. Something has happened.
Yeah.
And we're running there. And don't leave the media out. Yes.
and we are running towards where the disaster is, or
Yes.
where the terrorists are. It is difficult to understand a situation like that one, because normally you would imagine that people should be running away from where the violence is, from where the problem is. But a situation where people are running towards where the problem is a situation where people are not aware of themselves. They are not listening to their own feelings, they are not listening to their own thoughts. Because when you listen to your own thoughts will tell you, here, there is danger, move away from danger. But when you don't listen to yourself, then you can move towards the place where there is danger. And I would say that we need to train ourselves to be listening to ourselves, whether it is listening to our feelings or listening to our thoughts in situations that are difficult, that we can stop and reflect. But because many times people are not reflective, then they don't listen to themselves in terms of what they are thinking and what they are feeling, and therefore they can move towards danger. We need to create awareness even in our children, whether they are children in school, whether they are children even in higher institutions of learning, or whether it is people within communities or people within our religious institutions. We need to create awareness in people that they need to reflect or to be aware of what is happening inside themselves. What are the internal processes? Because when you understand, or when you come in touch with your internal process, then you are going to move in the direction that is going to take care of you, but not in the direction that is going to harm you.
Okay. One of the guys who was hiding with you people, keep quoting, he's called, and we'd like to also hear from him. But even as we wait to hear from him, I just want to go through the last part of this, right? And most importantly, stemming from what Ali has said, the trust we have in our security personnel, the trust. Has your experience enhanced that trust in the security personnel?
Yes, it has. It has quite a bit, because when now I knew these are the security people, they're the policemen, what they did first, they hugged us because we were in panic.
Okay.
So they calmed us down and they were like, no, relax, it's okay. So from there, I'm like, hey, kumbe police can hug people and they can tell you pole. You know, we have that notion that they are bad people and all that, but they are not. But I'm telling you, they first hugged us and then wakatuambia, it's going to be okay, let's go out. Yeah, it has changed. Okay. They're not what we see them to be.
Okay, so your notion people. Has changed completely.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
You know, I had this remarkable story from my colleague, because they were the first floor. They were going to do an interview at the Commission of Revenue Allocation. And you know, when you told me the hour was long, Dixon and Apollo were there from 3 p.m. when they started doing the interview to 4 a.m. They got out around 4, right? Around 4 a.m. So you can imagine that was about 13, 12 or more hours right there. So I had the remarkable story when they were at the first floor and Reiki had just come in. So the first voice they had said, guys, be calm. These people will kill us before they get to you. So just be calm. That's what Reiki told them. And that's why we even played the tribute to the soldiers, you know? Yes. So I'm coming to talk to you about your experience, but Ngeno now joins us on phone. Good evening, Ngeno, and thank you for staying late. I know we have had several remarkable stories, but you also have a story. Go ahead.
Thank you, Ken. Yes, apparently I was on the 6th floor with our child.
Yes.
Yes, the 6th floor is our company, called the Palmuli.
Okay.
And apparently we went in, tried to escape using the exit stairs, but we had some sounds downwards. We thought these guys might come up through the emergency stairs. Is when we went tried getting in the ceiling of the boardroom, But we saw the tiles couldn't hold us, the ceiling, they placed the ceiling on some simple ceiling. They couldn't hold us. It's when we rushed to the ladies. And it was just God's plan. It's when we got hold of some metal of some way. Then we went our way up.
Okay.
My colleague and I, Kiongo Washira, we sat on a pillar. Then we called Charles to come up now. Then he came through the other side of the ladies. That is, I think he climbed up on, what do you call it, just on the Kwakio. There is this, I'm missing the word. Anyway, he managed to come up. And then Charles was on calls. Yeah? He angered us. We were like, you guys, the police know that we're here. Stop calling. And then that was the time they were spraying on our door. Yeah? They came, sprayed inside our office, traumatizing. Yeah? Okay. But at least we thank God, we managed to hold on for the 6 hours plus because we got up at 3:30.
Okay.
And the police came in at around 7:30 when they came for the first round.
Okay.
And there's this guy, an Indian voice. The police, we're here to help. And I was like, Chungo, we're not going to speak. This is a prank. Yeah? I mean, we've never seen an Indian who's a police, right? So we stayed there, listen, the police left. Is when we were given a number on our WhatsApp of the guy coordinating. So we called the guy, and they came up. They took their sweet time, 1 hour time. They came in at around 8:30. And that is when they called us when they were on the 6th floor, and we were like, yeah, we're hearing you, we're here. They came in. Okay. That is when Abbas and some, I think, Israeli guys and the Reiki squad told us, you can pick your bags and leave, only to meet 2 bodies on the 6th floor, on the stairs.
Sorry. And Kipkoech Ngeno, by the way, is the gentleman who started tweeting. Kipkoech, I started seeing your tweets as early as 4 or 3 p.m., right? You're the guy who was tweeting, right?
Yes. When we were there, up there,
yes,
before the police came, we managed to take a few photos after we had cried ourselves out. It reached a time when I was just telling Kiongo, my English name is Emmanuel. And I was like, Kiongo, you know what? I'm Emmanuel. You don't know that I'm Emmanuel. God is with us. He's going to hold us.
Okay.
Then we took photos up there in the balcony. And even when we came down with Kina Abbas and the Reiki squad and some other, the military guys from outside with the country, is when we took those photos that I've tweeted.
Okay. Kipkoech,
yes.
We are glad that you made it out. And just before I let you go, just one word to our security forces.
They did a marvelous job, but they did a good thing. But next time when you're doing such a operation, perhaps you can use the local dialect. Is when you can relate with. You can't trust a foreign voice, you know. There's a difference in our English and the expatriate English. Yeah? Yes. So we were like, no, that can't be one of our police. That has to be the terrorist. Yeah?
Yes.
But anyway, we thank God we made it through.
Yes.
And they did a marvelous job, the coordination and everything, the reaction time, it was superb.
Okay.
And most of all, it's God anyway.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kipkoech, and we continue to pray for you. Thank you very much for sharing your story with us. And of course, you were together. I know you can't even remember. Do you remember the gentleman now?
I've heard the voice, but
the voice. Yeah. Okay.
So those were the guys that we were with, and then they were the one that we escaped. You see, they were the guys that we were trying to talk, and then we was just trying to communicate with each other to give anyone comfort.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So same question I asked her. Yeah. What they did for Kenyans, does it restore confidence? Sasa uko na imani zaidi?
As for me, what I can say about the Kenya forces, all the military groups, I can say this time around they were organized well, so there were no commotion inside those terror zones. So I can say like how they responded in the right way, and I think the Kenyan government has done something great on their side, and let them improve more and more, so that we can reduce this kind of margins, so that this kind of people cannot get any access to these positions or any form of places. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And hearing what they're saying about the policemen, does it encourage you now?
It does. Actually, this is what we are working for. Okay? Watu sema ukipeleka mtoto shule, kitu natarajia nini Ken? Mtoto apite. Okay? You are paying us your taxes, you're paying us our salaries. This is a service we are doing to you. So kitu naweza waambia ni kwamba imefanyika and we'll do much better if it comes to that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So it has always been a rat-cat race with the police. You also have experience hearing from the lady, and she represents a lot of us, and the gentleman, hearing that the public side. Now, do you think with that single act, what happened in Dusit, does it change the perception that Kenyans have on the police?
It does, in a very big way, because that particular operation was very meticulous, and the police demonstrated they can be trusted by the wananchi, and they worked in teams. It was very clear that there was a systematic way of dealing with this particular operation. Westgate was different. This was very different from others that we have witnessed. And therefore we say heko to them. We are very proud of you. And you have demonstrated to us as the wananchi, even us as psychologists, because we work alongside you as the first responders on the ground, because when you bring the people, then we take care of the people. We now know that we can be able to work together, collaborating together to help our people, so that our people can get the kind of services that they require in situations of distress like those ones. Because lack of coordination, whether they are the psychologists who are not well coordinated, or the law enforcement officers, they are the ones that are not coordinated, the results are dismal. But the results, because of the good coordination, were excellent. Okay. So we say heko to you and your bosses for what you did.
Okay, and I'm about to let you go, but she's a psychologist. Perhaps you have a question for her that might help you, or you have a question, so you might have a question for her. Go ahead, Tracy.
For her?
Yes.
What I can ask her is like, how can you overcome the feeling that, like me, anytime that I hear a bang, a glass falling down, I see people running. How do I overcome that? How do I overcome that fear? Like, I feel like I'm still in the same situation. How do I overcome that? What do I do? How long will it take for me to get out of that situation that I'm in right now?
Yeah, yeah.
How long would it be?
Yeah, like for example, for people who go through, when we are on the ground, we don't do counseling. We do psychological debriefing or psychological first aid. Just talking to people so that they can calm down, just the same way the law enforcement officers will do calm down, and listening to you much more, not us talking, but listening to you much more in whatever you have gone through. But later on, we now take you through counseling. How long does it take? It will depend on the impact.
Okay.
How did it impact on this particular person? If this is a primary victim, like what happened to you, then that person may need more counseling for them to be able to resolve and be able to experience the normalcy that they need to experience. So for some people it takes a shorter period of time, for some people it takes a longer period of time. It is a difference between one person and the other person. You said that you were in the Westgate. That means that one person can have other accumulation of other traumas that were not resolved. And when one stays for a month, we say now PTSD has developed, or the post-traumatic stress disorders will develop. That means when another experience like that one comes, what happens is that the first experience of trauma is triggered, and therefore when you come to us, we need to help you to deal with what happened to you before and what is happening at this particular time. So I want to say there are individual differences that we respect in the people who come to us. And there are people who heal. Even if the impact was very strong on them, they can heal by themselves. Again, the individual differences.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chelsea, uko na swali?
I think she has responded well.
Okay, to that question. Ali?
Yangu ni actually kusisitiza kwamba most cases we tend to take psychologists as lawyers. Ya kwamba they are very expensive. I have a lawyer friend of mine mwenye alikuwa ananiambia there's something called pro bono that you do this thing for free sometimes. Kama in this attack naona kitu ingesaidia sana if they could arrange for meeting to talk with those guys to ile bure tu. How many people can afford to come to a psychologist? I think very few. So if you can just act more and be on the ground more, nakusaidia in such cases.
Okay.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
And we did that a lot on the ground. Kenya Counseling and Psychological Association, the umbrella body of the counseling standards in this country, brings all the institutions together so that everyone can come where the people are, so that they can give them relief, they can support them. Like at the mortuaries, as mostly we were at the mortuary where the family members are coming, and the family members are so distressed because they don't even know whether their loved ones are inside the morgue. And we talk to them even as they are getting into the mortuary to check whether their loved ones are there. And in all that process, we are helping them to stabilize. So we walked the journey with them. And like in the Garissa attack, we followed the students where they went in their different regions, because we worked with the regions together with the Kenya Red Cross. So we were not charging. It was pro bono at that particular time, because we were at a different time in the country where people are suffering and people may not have the money to be able to pay for the services, and therefore we give the services for free.
Okay.
And we continue to do that until our people have stabilized.
A good place to end, ladies and gentlemen, but I just like to give you an opportunity, about 30 seconds each, to just say a final thing to our security. The president said the other day that Kenyans showed the world the best part of us, that is, we are brave, we are patriotic, we are loving, and we are unbowed, right? Okay, so just something you'd want to say as we end the show.
First of all, I'll say thank you to God for allowing me to be here, and for the rest of the people to be saved. It's God, indeed God loves Kenya. Despite what the devil tries to put to us, we come out victoriously. Secondly, it's our commandant, our police. They did an amazing job. Like, I didn't stay there for 2 hours, Ken, like I told you. It was just for an hour or so, 1 hour, 30 minutes after we posted. And that was a very quick response. Very grateful and to the president. And sorry to the people that lost their loved ones during the attack. May their souls rest in peace, and may God console their families. And we hope for more and tighter security in our country, so that we will never ever have such attacks.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, Charles.
Okay, for me, I'll just say, like, I'm thankful to every person who was there for us. Everyone who was there in the complex, and also I'll thank also the Kenyan forces, military, and also all the police who were there, and also the police who are outside there, for all the calls that they received about the attack, and then they were able to respond to the people who are calling them in a way, and then they were giving them confidence that we are going to make these people come out safe. Yeah. So that was creating confidence. So because for me, I can remember when I heard people are now being saved, is when I came to my senses better. I felt like now, if people are going to be saved, also me, I'm going to get out. Okay. And also I can also thank what the government is doing towards the police, and also you can feel like the government is doing something great in the police department and also the army. You can feel like there's a difference from what happened in the previous occasions. And also I'll just say, let us Kenyans, because the Kenyans that we are living in this nation, we should speak of any position, anything that is happening. If you are understanding anything that is mysterious, just let us speak it out. Okay. It's going to save us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ali.
First of all, nashukuru sana for having me. Nashukuru sana for this opportunity of meeting the survivors and trying to explain our point of view. So, and everybody through the ranks who has made it happen for me to be here. Kitu ningependa kuambia ni kwamba there's something that I said ya kwamba we only have one Kenya. This is our country. Sisi tulichukua kiapo ya kwamba no matter what happens, we're going to defend it. Even if it's to defend it by blood, even to defend it by my death, I will do that. So kitu naweza ambia wa Kenya ni kwamba this was a victory for you. And rest assured that we have your back. As long as we are in uniform, as long as we are here, we are going to protect you. Okay. You are safe. Okay. That's all I can say. Nimeshukuru sana.
I like the way he says that with a smile.
Yeah.
You know, he says that with a smile, you know, especially when he says, we are here for you.
Yeah.
I like that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Ari, for the work that you did for us, psychologists and counselors. We would want to say, if Tracy, you are needing support, further support, if Charles, you're needing further support, we are going to be going out together. Kindly take our contacts or my contacts so that we can continue giving you further support. For the ones that are out there and they are listening to us, the psychologists, the counselors, we will still take care of you at this particular time, and they are not going to be charging you at this time. If you do not have money, don't fear to reach out to us. We are going to be willing to walk the journey with you. We need Kenyans to be assured that their mental health can be taken care of at a time like this, even if they don't have something to pay, because we need to unify, or we need to be united together at a time like this to ensure that everyone is okay and everyone is taken care of during that period of time and even afterwards.
Okay. I like the spirit, and thank you very much. What you've done for us tonight is amazing, because there's thousands who are watching, and there are hundreds and tens who escaped from the jaws of the terrorists who are watching, and it's of great help. And before we finish, and we're not doing this because he's more important than the other people who lost their lives, but he's the only service person who lost his life. So tonight we honor Japhet Nduguja Nuru, and in our eyes, he remains a hero. He made the ultimate sacrifice and paid with his life to see many other families shed tears of joy. Now, Japhet, who was born in 1991, was a member of the National Police Service. He was a GSU. He was based in Ruaraka, that's the headquarters. He was in the line of duty at Riverside 14 exactly a week ago when he lost his life in the hands of the terrorists. He was a brother, of course, a son, an uncle probably, and most important, he put the country first. He will be buried in Taita Taveta this Saturday, that's on the 26th. Now, Japhet died a patriot, and because of him, many lived to see this day. In his funeral announcement, the family shared the words, "You fought a good fight, you finished the race, and you kept the faith and paid the ultimate price for your country. May God rest his soul in eternal peace." And of course, I want to thank you very much for coming. Tracy, thank you very much. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Catherine. And thank you, Ali. And as I thank you, I want to thank the commandant of the GSU because it's not easy to get you here. Mr. Kirocho, thank you very much for letting Ali come to share with us his perspective. And I hope this builds the relationship with Kenyans. And even as we leave, I'd just like to ask my director once more to play the tribute to everyone we lost. Have a good night.